All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're looking at Bitcoin,
Oh, yeah.
specifically. Some recent reports and analysis that have come out
Okay.
kind of give us an idea of what's going on with the price and where it might be headed. It's a very interesting time right now
Yeah.
because Bitcoin is nearing that
Yeah.
$100,000 mark.
Yeah.
But there's some things happening that are pulling it in both directions.
Okay.
So we're going to take a look at that today and hopefully give you some information that you might find surprising. And we'll look at some of the both bullish and bearish arguments for what might happen.
Sounds good.
Okay, so first of all, one of the things that is kind of unusual is that Bitcoin reserves on exchanges are at a multi-year low.
Right.
And this is according to CryptoQuant. So
Yeah.
it is unusual
Yeah.
because you would think in a bull market, when the price is going up, that people would be
Yeah.
depositing their Bitcoin onto exchanges so that they could sell.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Right. So the fact that we're seeing the opposite, that they're actually withdrawing Bitcoin, is very strange.
It is. And I think one of the most interesting things is that since Trump's victory in 2016, back then there was a massive outflow of Bitcoin from exchanges. It was about 171,000 Bitcoin.
Wow.
That's a lot of Bitcoin taken off the exchanges. And it shows that people are really betting on that long term. Prophylatically.
They're hodling.
Exactly.
They're not interested in selling, even at $100,000.
It's incredible. And you know what? This actually ties into what Glassnode is reporting.
Okay.
They're saying that a massive 75% of Bitcoin's circulating supply is now considered illiquid.
Illiquid. What does that mean?
Okay, so think of it this way. You've got your Bitcoin that's like water flowing in a river. That's your liquid Bitcoin.
Right.
It's readily available to trade. But then you have this illiquid Bitcoin that's more like water frozen in a glacier. It's there, but it's locked away. It's not really moving. And right now that Bitcoin glacier is growing.
So the majority of Bitcoin is locked up and not really available for sale.
And this combined with those shrinking exchange reserves, it's really pointing towards a potential supply squeeze.
Okay, so less Bitcoin to go around,
Right.
but the demand is still going up.
Yeah.
So that should push the price up, right?
Logically, yes. It seems like it would, but there is a catch.
Okay.
When a large chunk of an asset becomes illiquid, it tends to make the market more volatile. Because even a small amount of that illiquid Bitcoin were to suddenly become available, it could trigger a rapid price drop.
Okay, so it's a risky game.
Uh-huh.
On the shorter term time frame, there are some analysts that are waving red flags right now
I've heard that.
because they're what's called a head and shoulders pattern in the price charts.
What is that?
Okay, so
Yeah.
imagine you're drawing a line connecting the peaks and valleys of Bitcoin's price movements. Over time, this head and shoulders pattern kind of looks like you guessed it ahead with two shoulders.
Oh, okay.
back. It often signals a sell-off.
Yeah.
Because it means that we've lost momentum. And some analysts are saying that this pattern could lead to a price drop down to $90,000.
Wow. Okay, so that's a pretty big drop.
That is a big drop.
Yeah.
But are all the analysts pessimistic like that?
Not all of them. There are some analysts who see Bitcoin in what's called a parabolic uptrend.
Okay.
They think we're just getting started.
So they think it's going to keep accelerating upwards.
Exactly. Especially after it briefly touched $98,000 recently.
Okay, so we've got, two different narratives here.
It's true.
Then we also have to factor in the rise of altcoins,
Oh, yeah.
like Ethereum and XRP. Do you think that that could be affecting Bitcoin's price?
Well, investors tend to diversify during bull markets. And some people are seeing altcoins as offering more potential for returns.
Yeah, especially because Bitcoin is currently trading below its all-time high.
Makes sense.
Right. So it's 3.8% below its all-time high of $99,540. Again, then there's also the regulatory landscape. Obviously, Trump, when he was president, was pretty favorable towards crypto.
He was.
How do you think that might play out in terms of regulations?
Well, regulation is a big deal for Bitcoin. If there's clear and positive regulation, it could really boost confidence among investors. But on the other hand, uncertainty or negative regulations could have the opposite effect. So right now, the market seems to be betting on a favorable regulatory environment.
Okay. But even with that, there are some signs of caution. For example, Bitcoin options markets are showing an uptick in what's called hedging activity.
Okay.
Can you explain what that means?
So hedging is basically like insurance for your Bitcoin.
Okay.
It's a way of protecting
Protection.
yourself in case the market takes a downturn.
What does that tell us?
It suggests that there's a lot of uncertainty. about what's coming next.
Okay, and then adding to that uncertainty
Yeah.
is the government's recent move of $2 billion worth of seized Silk Road Bitcoin to Coinbase.
Seriously?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that has to be making people nervous, right?
Yeah, because whenever governments do things like this, it creates a lot of speculation. In the past, similar sales have caused dips in Bitcoin's price.
So with Bitcoin already being
Yeah.
in such a precarious position, this could really push the price in one direction or another.
It really could.
Okay, so to recap, we've got this strange situation with the Bitcoin reserves drying up on exchanges, which could point to a supply squeeze
Yeah.
and potentially higher prices. But we've also got those short-term warnings,
Right.
like the head and shoulders pattern
Mhm.
and the hedging activity. And then we can't forget about the altcoins and how government actions, like that Silk Road Bitcoin sale, could affect the price.
It's a really interesting time for Bitcoin. The next few months
Ours is going to be
crucial
so
in determining, which of these factors
Yeah.
are going out. So
What do you think? What's the most likely scenario for Bitcoin's price in the coming months? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe and share this deep dive with anyone who might be interested in the crazy world of Bitcoin. Until next time.